Good evening, everyone. Thanks for your patience. I will call to meeting the Rights of Way Subcommittee meeting scheduled for today, Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. I would ask that the record reflect the committee members that are present, as well as any staff members that are present that will participate in this particular meeting. First matter on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the June 27, 2023. I entertain a motion for that.
Move to approve the minutes.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's approved. Staff report, is we approving that or yeah?
This is not approving it, no, just reporting out.
Okay, the way it said it, okay.
Yep.
It's on the same line. Okay, staff report.
Just briefly, Mr. Chair, thank you. We have had a couple of additional requests for the subcommittee to investigate rights of ways to the shore. The latest one being from the town of Charlestown for the sand trail. We also still have quite a backlog of additional sites that are under investigation at the staff level, and then that would be forwarded up to the subcommittee. But just want to let you know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are well over a dozen in the queue that we have at various levels of investigation at the staff level. And that's my staff report.
Thank you much. Brings us to the first one on the agenda, Spring Avenue right-of-way status update from the parties. I'm going to turn it over to my legal counsel, Mr. DeSisto, for comments and proceeding.
Well, I think it's important. I see the lawyers here. If you could all kind of come up and let us know where we are on an agreed statement of facts and a possible a scheduling order to enter, for lack of a better term. Who's going to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to. Joe Farside at Lock Lord, counsel to the Weekapaug Fire District. We emailed over this morning or around midday a copy of a proposed schedule of this proceeding to continue through December 20th. We tried to be thoughtful about the timing and also realistic about the steps that are going to need to be taken, given where this matter stands and the discovery that's going to have to be taken and the preparation of the evidence. I think we, the town and the two interveners all had input on this. We convened once or twice by phone and video conference to discuss it. So what we submitted today is something we're all on board with. And of course, you know, subject to any extensions that may become necessary, we would all conference on those before needing to come before the subcommittee. That's the perspective of the fire district.
So, Mr. DeSisto and Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, William Conley on behalf of the town of Westerly, ditto to everything that Mr. Farside said in terms of the parties' efforts. When you look at the scheduling order we submitted, it's pretty straightforward. But when you look at what's entailed, the diligence that's going to need to be done in that period of time, the parties made a lot of effort to have those discussions to talk about what diligence does need to be done. It was a collaborative effort, and I would expect that in the process of meeting those deadlines in the schedule, that we hope to be able to collaborate with one another in doing that as well. Which is not to say, as Mr. Farside mentioned, there may not be occasions or unforeseen circumstances where we may need to seek relief from a deadline for whatever reason. But I want to express appreciation to Mr. Farside and to counsel for the interveners and to the state for participating in those discussions and very candid about, you know, what needs to be done in order to make this a really robust, full and fair hearing process. So thank you.
Nothing more to add.
I think it's pretty much been said, but I think that it's in your inbox.
I have it, yes.
Okay, so obviously it's subject to your review, but I think we're all agreed.
Okay, so it's an agreement for this. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'll just read out the dates to the committee that we have here. I'm going to start with September 15th, if that's okay, on this. And that would be the initial exchange of fact witness lists. Though some witnesses may be disclosed prior to this date. Witness lists will include witness name, phone number, current residence, and brief statement of anticipated testimony, including, for example, and I'm not gonna go through those. September 15th would be the initial exchange of expert witness lists. September 22nd, the initial draft of proposed joint exhibits to be exchanged. October 27th, initial exchange of expert reports, with opportunity thereafter for parties to retain rebuttal witnesses in response to those reports. October, December, fact, witness, and expert depositions as needed. Agree on scope of any additional documentary evidence to be exchanged. Disclosure of anticipated hearing witnesses who have firsthand knowledge of relevant facts. Identification of rebuttal expert witnesses if applicable. And submission of rebuttal reports followed by depositions of such rebuttal expert, revision and negotiation of joint statements of facts and joint exhibits following depositions or other discovery. December 20th, expert slash witness statements slash deposition transcripts to CRMC, joint statement of facts to CRMC, joint exhibits to CRMC. Do any of the members have any questions?
Questions? Ron, Trish?
Okay, I actually have a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
For experts, what type of experts will you be retaining? Will they be title experts? Will there be engineers or surveyors that will be involved in this? Perhaps any other experts that I haven't mentioned?
You go ahead, please.
I think obviously the parties haven't, our date to decide that and disclose that to all parties is in the future, but I would say that yes, all of those would be option for the party for us.
Okay. Will all of the witnesses be deposed, like the fact witnesses, or no?
Again, that's something that I think the parties have agreed that we would work out as time goes on, as we know more.
I think that the understanding is that they all have to be made available for deposition. Whether the other side chooses to depose them or not, I guess would depend on what that other side has in terms of resources and in terms of interest in the particular, or based on what's disclosed regarding them. Because a summary of their intended testimony has to be revealed. So depending on that, I think the choice would have to be made. But I can say that we definitely are going to be presenting a title expert. And I believe, perhaps in conjunction with other parties, an aerial photograph expert, a surveyor, or engineer, as you would have it, as expert witnesses.
What you've outlined here would be very helpful to the subcommittee, the right-of-way subcommittee, in order to make a determination here. But just the caveat is, and I know we have the Attorney General here for the public, but the statute contemplates that there would be public participation. So notwithstanding the fact that you have all these witnesses that you're going to be presenting on the matter, depositions and all this other documentary evidence and experts that you'd have, there will be a chance for the public themselves over and above all of this to make comment, just so long as you all know. Will this be embodied in some type of a document that you all sign and agree to?
We're perfectly willing to sign the document that you have in front of you, Attorney DeSisto. I don't know that it, has signature lines, but I'm perfectly willing to sign it.
Would the committee appreciate the fact that this schedule that you've seen out, that I've orally transmitted to you, be signed and sent in and made a part of our record? Would that be something that you think is helpful to the process?
For that?
Yes.
that I would move that we have the schedules signed and submitted to the CRMC right away.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, as well.
Is there, and I want to address one separate issue, but is there anything else you all would like to discuss? But to me, this was the purpose of today's meeting, so that we can kind of plan out where this is going to be going.
Just since I did manage to list the experts I intended, or myself, or in conjunction with other parties, call, I should make the list complete. We also have an archivist that we would intend to call to this
Thank you.
expert.
Now, you also raised the issue of the Spray Rock Trust. We managed to locate an attorney that represents that trust. He does not want his name made public yet, and he's discussing the matter with his clients. We expect to hear back from him shortly. So that a particular issue that you've raised earlier that the board has addressed, that will be addressed later on, but I can tell you that we're making progress on it.
Okay.
And we're dealing with the attorney for the entity.
Just so I can, if I can just elaborate on my concern, it's just that, it's one thing if you know that something's going on next door that might affect you. It's another thing to know that your own rights might be adjudicated. And that's what I wanted to make clear to them.
Understood, but this is just a designation of it as a public right of way, so whatever property rights they have would not be impaired, other than the fact that the public, if the subcommittee and the council rules that way, if it would be subject to the public's rights, so
Right.
they should be involved well before we get to that point.
I just have one more thing, Mr. DeSisto. I did submit a letter separately, but just to throw it out there since we are talking scheduling, and I've relayed this to the parties, and will submit my court excusal, but I will be out for the second half of November. Just so we're all aware.
Thank you.
I'd like to take this opportunity, if I could, just to thank the fire district representatives, Mr. Farside and his associate, for promptly getting to me certain documents that I had informally requested. So if that's the spirit of discovery going forward, things should go smoothly.
Okay. I do have a question. There's 7 lawyers involved that I'm looking at. Only one has a court excusal through the end of the year?
I have one as well, the week in November.
Okay,
It's the
excellent.
job week though, it's only 4 days.
Okay, that shouldn't impair anything with the schedule, so, thank you.
I had a question.
Yes,
So based on this schedule, does that mean we would have like public hearings after December 20th right away?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
See, the whole process that we're looking at here, and it's occasioned by the fact that we've gotten so much documentary evidence in. I think to the extent that there can be an agreement as to facts is going to make your job that much easier. And if all of the technical issues are addressed, that will be easier. If you have depositions of experts, that will make the job easier too. So I think what you're looking at is the hearings will take place in 2024, and then the public will have a chance to take a look at all of this evidence and make comments on it from there and add their own personal experiences too. There's a lot of work cut out for the lawyers and the public, and also for the committee too.
Thank you.
If I may ask one question, Attorney DeSisto, and to the subcommittee. We did submit a letter dated July 13th that related to an initial determination about whether this particular right of way is suitable to go through the designation process. Realizing that this matter has been before the subcommittee and the council for, I think, 3 years, and we've only been involved for the most recent few months of that. We did feel obligated to check if there has already been a determination that complies with the council's own guidance on this, or if one will be rendered, and if it'll be rendered the subcommittee might view it as a formality. We certainly don't. But we feel obligated to ask if that determination will be formally made as something.
If the issue is pressed, there will be an answer. And I can tell you that the answer will be, at least from my view as the legal counsel for this subcommittee and the council, that yes, it is appropriately before that's the CRMC. And if it requires a writing on that, we'll get your writing.
Okay, would you like us to?
By the way, that's not typically something that's done, but if pressed, that's what we'll do.
Thank
We
you.
just wanted, like you guys are trying to eliminate issues, we are also.
Thank you.
Anything else on the status update? Scheduling order, that's what we just did.
Yes, and you'll supply it and you'll get the signatures on the on that and get it over to us. Thank you.
Well.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks for coming on out.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Mr. Langseth wants to
Richard Langseth,
Thank you,
Sunnymountain
Rich.
Farm Road in Warwick. And I'd like to let you folks know, we couldn't get in the building. We had to bang on the door, waited at least 5 minutes. Finally, the guard, recognized us, but members of the public coming in, there's no sign on the door that the meeting is here. And quite often, when committees meet in state facilities or whatever, they put a sign on the door, CRMC meeting here. And then the other thing is, you really shouldn't have locked doors. I mean, because the guard is only a single guard. And if somebody else, there was nobody there at the time, right? But if somebody else were trying to get in, he goes through the ritual with them. Meantime, these people are outside, they can't get in. And the impression might be that the meeting doesn't even exist, because I was questioning my own sanity. Is today the right day? And, we were a little late. We came in from Newport and crazy went through Fall River, which was an absolute stupid thing to do. But, we're a little late. But I really think the CRMC has to do something about where the meeting's held. If this is a convenient spot to make it truly a public spot, not behind locked doors and asking for IDs. On the 8th of August, I went to a Commerce Corporation meeting, and it was very busy. And I said, okay, I'm just going to walk in, right? So I walked into the room, and lo and behold, just after the governor came in, somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, you didn't sign in." And I said, "Oh, this is a public meeting. I don't think I have to sign in, right?" And they said, "Oh, well, we'll go talk to our attorney." And they did. They went and they talked to the attorney, and the attorney said he's every right to come in here without signing in the Commerce Corporation meeting, on wherever it is down there. So I really think somehow you guys have to look at this and see if you can do something about it. I'd appreciate that a lot.
Actually, Mr. Langseth raises a good point. It's something that we need to address with the Department of Administration. You're exactly correct. I couldn't get in myself.
Right. And the other thing is, I asked the folks for any documents coming up to this meeting. Maybe there weren't any, but I didn't get any. So, remember last month we talked about that. So I think I asked on Thursday or Friday. So anyway.
We haven't, Mr. Langseth, but you're gonna get the scheduling order shortly when the attorneys sign it and send it in. We'll send you that.
Okay.
But, under the Open Meetings Act, your request is a rolling request. So as documents come in, and we expect them to, we'll send them out to you.
Good. Okay. It might be good to have a DocuStore of some kind where the people can log in and see the documents, but a lot of agencies do that. But either way, it would be nice. And thanks for meeting in the middle of August on this thing, guys.
I can.
Oh, this afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Newport all day, so I didn't get to do it. Okay, I'm sure you did. Okay, thank you very much.
You have something to say?
No, I was gonna define
Okay.
Lisa.
Anything else that come before the rights of way subcommittee meeting? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Wait,
Second.
we'll talk about the other, right away or no?
Well, I mentioned them in the staff report that we have
Okay,
in the queue, so
okay.
there's several coming up.
Second.
You want to keep going? Did I jump ahead?
We got plenty of time. I can filibuster.
Seriously, you need to, everything else? Okay. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, well. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.